When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
When you think about it, in nature, no other animal wipes after they use the restroom. So why do we do that? If God wanted us to wipe after we use the restroom, we would have a built-in way to do that.
I love social media, but one thing it did was give a platform and a voice to spread information to people that did not need it.
You ever scroll past somebody's video and think, why do you have a mic? Not even trying to be shady, but the confidence be loud and the content is low-key concerning. And we've all been low-key suffering the consequences ever since. And don't get me wrong, I am a big believer of free speech, but we're giving platforms to people who mistake attention for anointing. Today, we're talking about the rise of the unqualified, misinformed, and straight up confused. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe. You're classy. You don't just give those out for free. But hopefully at the end of this video, we become bestie enough to where you feel like you can take that next step. Let's start with the loudest issue. Literally. Because we are currently living in the era of loud and wrong. And we all see it. Confidence is trending harder than credibility. Somewhere down the line, we stopped rewarding being right and started rewarding being bold, regardless of accuracy.
I've been with the CIA for a few years. And then one morning, I got ordered to report to a military base. And I was briefed on something called Operation Water the Country.
Can you explain what that is?
Oh, sure. It's a code name we use for the process of removing all the living birds. They used poison gas dropped from airplanes.
Now, after the living birds were taken out of the picture, what was the next step?
Well, they were replaced with fake birds. They were electronic decoys. They could watch people without them knowing it.
Now, mind you, they're dead serious. While I was researching for this video, I stumbled upon a TikTok page literally named Birds Aren't Real. I'm sorry. It's so hard keeping a straight face. Because this account is literally verified on TikTok. They have over 800,000 followers. And every single one of their videos is about birds being surveillance drones.
In the 1970s, the government has been replacing birds with bird drones to spy on us. Have you ever seen a baby pigeon? Ever? You probably haven't because they don't exist. But if they did exist, surely someone has seen a baby pigeon, right? Have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
No.
So at this point, if y'all see me rebrand my whole page and start claiming that squirrels are spies, don't side-eye me, okay? I'm just trying to make my coin. Oh, this is getting so unserious already. Okay, at this point, the plot isn't just gone. It's been erased out of our history books, our logic. And on the bright side, I do feel like a lot of people believe that this account and this whole ideal is satire. I feel like most people can see that this is a joke that just might be running for a little bit too long. But the people in these comments, y'all, bless their hearts. So let's lose a few brain cells, shall we? Thank you for spreading the truth. I can't believe people are still so blind when all the proof is right in front of them. If it flies, it spies. Someone said, I knew it. Please, I'm too gullible for this. Did anyone follow as a joke but feel like it's not a joke anymore? And lastly, my favorite. At one point, I started hearing birds. Y'all, I don't even know how to say this word. Ooh. Whoa, let me get my vocabulary straight before I try to laugh at somebody. Hold on. Synchronously. I think you say this synchronously. At one point, I started hearing birds synchronously chirping outside my home for a few hours every night. It sounded too artificial and odd to me. But hey, everyone loves a good conspiracy theory, especially if it sounds passionate enough. Nobody questions the logic. But to be fair, maybe those comments are satire and people are just feeding into a joke that we're not a part of. And that's the thing about the internet. You never really know who's in on the joke and who genuinely believes the nonsense. Because the line between a joke and delusion can get a little blurry. And sometimes people take it way too far. like risk your life for views too far. And that's when it stops being funny and gets dangerous. Not unless your humor is a little dark, then it's still kind of funny. Now, there are so many examples of this that we can speak about, but the one that sticks out to me the most, cue the Tide Pod Challenge.
Dangerous phenomenon on social media known as the Tide Pod Challenge, still causing concern across the country, and today YouTube is hoping to stop the videos.
The videos have become an online craze among teens where they eat laundry detergent packets on camera. It's unclear how this craze got started. Some reports suggest the idea grew out of online memes, joking about how appetizing the pods looked.
What started as a joke about how they looked like candy turned into a full-on internet challenge with people actually eating them on camera. And of course, the algorithm only praised this type of behavior. The views went up, the shares skyrocketed, and the danger, it was just ignored. Thankfully, most of the people who participated in that challenge didn't build a whole platform off of that nonsense, but that's not always the case. Because on the internet, going viral doesn't need to come with purpose, value, or dignity. You just need that one clip, that one moment, and baby, you're an influencer.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing, you get me?
Yeah, we're going there. I know, some of y'all probably forgot about this woman, and here I am dragging her back into the algorithm. But listen, this is the perfect moment for when a viral moment turns into a platform. One raunchy clip and suddenly we're moving to LA, getting invited on stage at concerts and selling merch. And no shade to her, I'm not a hater, make your coins by any needs meet. But let's keep it a buck. One moment of shock should not equal a whole platform. She didn't drop a message, she dropped spit, and somehow the internet praised her for it.
Why did Hawk Tour become such a big deal for so many people?
Because people don't like the fact that there's no skill involved. Oh, she just gets approached on the street and she says something into a microphone that's not even that funny, and now she's she's famous and she's a millionaire?
And that's the type of thing we need to be reflecting on. What does that say about us? Is that all it takes? We all know the internet can hype you up today and drag you tomorrow. Miss Hawktua thought that she was gonna build a dream life off of one dirty joke, but instead, she got a quick taste of reality.
Hayley Welch, aka the Hawktua girl, is the perfect example of how to lose your entire audience as quickly as possible. From openly taking advantage of her fans, to lying during a Coffeezilla interview and denying any wrongdoing. It's no surprise that all of Hayley's social media stats are in the red and dropping fast. However, that decline seems to only be the beginning of Hayley's career downfall.
Because the same app that made you a star will turn on you before the echo even fades. Everyone wants to be an influencer now, even if they have nothing to say or if they have the wildest things to say. People with a mic and a following are mistaken for experts. And that's kind of the dangerous part, because we stopped caring about what people actually bring to the table. Viral doesn't mean that you're ready. It doesn't mean you're informed, and it definitely doesn't mean that you're adding any value. I'm just saying. And that's why we have to start asking. What are we actually performing? Because some people perform hate, point blank, and it doesn't always look like yelling or slurs. Sometimes it's dressed up as a podcast with wild takes and a ring light.
You don't think women should get the right to vote?
No, I don't.
Why?
If feminists want the right to vote, right, then it should come with the draft.
Your proposals, like taking the vote away from women, are deeply regressive.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to remove just from yourself the right to vote?
Because again, before you weren't trying to divide a family. It was one family unit. You had one vote for the family. I mean, I don't think it's good for a family to have two votes.
A woman that goes by Just Pearly Things created a platform by sitting in front of a mic and confidently saying the most regressive things she could stir up. Confidently saying women shouldn't vote in the 21st century, that's not a hot take. That's a historical setback. It almost seems like no matter how wild the take, these type of people still get booked, boosted, and followed. And she almost has 2 million followers. Just let that sink in. When that many people are tuning in, we kind of have to ask, what exactly are you agreeing with? Now, sure, you can argue that Miss Hawktua and Miss Women Shouldn't Vote were just exercising their right to free speech, sharing their opinions, and just doing what the internet rewards. But that's where things start getting a little tricky, because sometimes opinions can get repackaged as facts. And once that happens, it's no longer just content. It's misinformation with studio lights and a Sony camera. We as everyday people are getting more and more gullible online. And honestly, it's really not even our faults, because the content, it looks good. The advice, it sounds confident. And the facts, they look believable. Even when they're coming from someone who claims that Botox can treat your depression.
You better fix my entire life, you little
Y'all, it's getting dangerous out here. And let's follow up with the caption that states, struggling with mental health and depression? Studies show Botox injections will not only help your skin and wrinkles, but also improve your depression. Hashtag mental health tips, hashtag depression TikTok, hashtag health talk, hashtag skincare tips, hashtag depression tips, hashtag mental health. Because nothing says emotional healing like paralyzing your forehead. Wrinkles are literally a normal part of aging, and mental health issues like depression are serious things that people go through. But instead of promoting therapy, medication, or even support systems, she's out here recommending we inject a foreign substance into our face to fix our mind.
What's rule number 1? Party? No, not party. No, it's not party.
Can we please be serious? Like, can we please be for real for 1 second in our entire lives? Honestly, that's where we are right now. In a digital world where the wildest claims can be treated as factual. If it sounds passionate, if it looks polished, no one questions it. Every week it's a new fake historical moment, a celebrity deep fake, or some dramatic image meant to pull at your heartstrings. And these aunties on Facebook are out here reposting it like it came straight from CNN.
I don't think the world is ready for the new level of fake videos that old people are going to be sharing on Facebook. Just know, as soon as a young person starts uploading clips from it onto Facebook, the old people are going to go wild. And if you think there's any hope that old people will be able to tell it's fake, well, then this is proof that they can't. Recently, a huge trend has been going around showing grandparents GTA 5 footage and telling them it's from the news. And they gobble it up like it's nobody's business. It's the funniest thing ever.
The rise of AI-generated content has taken misinformation to a whole new level. It's not just bad opinions anymore. It's completely fabricated realities, stitched together by a prompt and some confidence.
I'm never deleting Facebook. As we can see, this horrible AI image says, "Today's my birthday. No one loved me because I'm poor." The amount of people who think that this is real and are commenting like, "Happy birthday, don't be sad, keep your head up," whatever, all these things. Astonishing.
And people, especially older people who didn't grow up with this type of technology, they are falling for it left and right. And the scariest part, a lot of these people, they can't tell the difference. One scroll and suddenly you're believing in events that never happened. You're believing that a man can turn 150 years old. This isn't just misinformation. It's digital storytelling with no actual proof behind it. And we're not just watching it, we're reposting it, stitching it, and building beliefs around it. And that's the internet that we're on now, where the algorithm doesn't care what's real, just what's engaging. So yeah, this internet era, it's getting a bit wild. Loud opinions get platforms, fake news gets praised, and the most viral voices are more delusional than ever. At the end of the day, we're the ones who are deciding who gets the clicks, the platform, and the attention. And whether you realize it or not, your likes, shares, and views are votes. So let's start choosing better and stop confusing confidence with credibility. I know you're smarter than the algorithm gives you credit for, but these conversations still matter for the people in the back. And I'm not saying that we have to be perfect, okay? We can enjoy a little mess here and there. But we should at least know when something is meant to inform us and when it's meant to manipulate us. Because at the end of the day, Not everyone deserves a platform, and that's okay. Some people just need a good long break from the post button. You have discernment, you have taste, and now you have me. And I'm not saying you have to subscribe, okay? You're classy, you don't just give that out for free. But if you're still here, you know where that subscribe button is. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.